Hey guys, Sean I has here, the DFS Sniper, here to talk UFC 214 Jones versus Cormier. This is a DraftKings lineup builder show. We're going to build a lineup for cash games, that is your double ups and head-to-head type contests, and just going to really build a roster along with you. Kind of can hear some of my stream of consciousness, what I'm thinking about certain fights. Quick disclaimer: building this earlier in the week. My preferences could change as we lead up until fight time. If you play me in a head-to-head, this is not necessarily the lineup you're going to see. So that being said, I like to sort by salary, which you can see we've already done here. Up at the top, anybody over 9,000 needs to be a lock to win at the very least and have a decent chance to pay off their price tag. Chris Cyborg 9,600 meets all of those requirements, even with a ridiculous price tag. She should finish Tanya Evinger early, I believe. She's definitely going to win. Should finish. I think 100 points is very likely here. So I'm going to go ahead and put in Chris Cyborg, keeping in mind that I believe there is enough value in this card to make her fit. If we start putting people in the lineup and it doesn't work, we can certainly change things around. Andre Fili, Drew Dober are just not good enough fighters for me to roster at 9,000 or over. There's just no way. John Jones is a guy that, a 5-round fight, title fight, I'm going to put in John Jones. I think he wins. And Jimmy Manoa at 8,800, I believe, is going to crush Ozdemir. That's the lock. I want to circle back for a second, though. John Jones. Main event, any 5-round fight in cash games, you probably need to consider stacking the main event. And what stacking is where you, if you're not familiar, you play both guys in a fight, you guarantee yourself a win, and in 5-round fights, you rack up points. Is the idea, even in a loss, because there's the extra 10 minutes. I am actually thinking John Jones is going to finish DC. It's not a popular opinion. It's kind of just how I see this fight going, though. And there's other places I think I want to invest for this cash game build. I am a little concerned, though, in that I only have 7,500 per fighter left. So we're going to immediately have to scroll down a little bit. And in need of a punt play for cash, I like Calvin Kattar. The more I look into it, I like him just for the price. I think he is a live dog against Andre Fili. Fili's movement, the more I watch, the more I think he's dependent on his movement. Kattar throws very good leg kicks. I've mentioned that in a few places, a few other episodes and podcasts. I think they're going to play a pretty large role in this fight. So he's at least live, 7,000. I don't think Fili's going to steamroll him. So even in a loss at 7,000, if Kattar can score me some points, I am perfectly fine with that in cash games. And that also opens up some salary for us. We now have 7,850 a fighter. I can scroll a little bit further up. I would like to play Alexandra Albu because Kaylin Curran is terrible. But if we put her in, that leaves me 7,400, and that leaves me with Ozdemir, Cormier. We talked about Berkman and Evinger. Berkman, I think, might be live because Drew Dober is overpriced. But I don't want to have Kattar and Berkman in the same lineup. That has 4 and 2 written all over it, and I'm really trying to secure 5 wins, at least in cash games. So Albu just does not work for the price. Jason Knight and Ricardo Lamas is a fight you have to think is going to have tons of action. Both guys can wrestle. Both seem to struggle with takedowns. Knight was very impressive in his last fight against Chas Skelly. I think he is still growing and improving. Lamas could be on the decline. It's one of those, this is the fight I'm the most back and forth on. I feel like it's also going to have the most ownership, but in cash games, it's not something that really turns me away. I like the upside of Jason Knight. I'm going to put in Jason Knight. He's my pick in the fight. That leaves me 7,600. So that opens up Demian, Maia, and Eric Sheldon. I am on record as saying I think Demian Maia wins the fight, but it really could be a sloppy grappling match where he could go out and get, the way he loses, he gets knocked out in 2 minutes. So he's a little risky for my taste for a cash game. I think he's a very good GPP play. But it's really my only option unless I take away Jason Knight. Now, circling back to it, we may have to knock down off of one of the big favorites we picked, or we do stack the main event and play DC. I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to hold firm on my John Jones finishing DC stance. Definitely not getting rid of Jimmy Manuwa, Calvin Guitar. You know, we're gonna make this work here. As you can see, I clearly just built these on the fly. I'm leveling with you guys. Henan Barao is also relatively safe in that Aljamain Sterling is not going to finish him. Barao can grapple. The fight is at 140, which favors Barao. I think he wins the stand-up. Aljo throws those kicks. It just opens himself up for takedowns. I'm going to put in Henan Barao. And now we have Donald Cerrone open. It's the same problem we have, though, with Demian Maia. Although Cerrone, I don't think it's going to get finished by Lawler as vicious and ruthless as Robbie Lawler is. I don't think there's a quick finish in this fight. I think Cerrone, I am picking him to win, but I don't think I'm running the risk of a first round knockout with this one. So Cerrone is going to make my cash lineup. So we just built a lineup with Chris Cyborg, John Jones, Jimmy Manuwa, who I feel very strongly are all going to get wins. I'm also relatively confident in Henan Barao. I'm a little worried about the scoring in that fight, but I feel pretty secure in that it's a win as an underdog. Cerrone has upside, and Calvin Guitar, I think, is a punt who is live and could win his fight. So that is our DraftKings lineup build for cash games. Guys, if you can like this video, subscribe to my channel. Also give me a follow on Twitter if you don't already. I really appreciate it. Good luck in your contest. I will see you out there, and I will see you next week.